Hello everyone, this is Christoph Kaiser. I am presenting to you the Gatsby Bookstore wine bar. So right now we're looking at the site. Here we have Sepulveda Eastway on 87th Street. This is the building here, previously Dollar Plus, and previous to that I believe it was a toy store. I'm going to move right into looking at a photograph that I took on site a couple weeks back. It's a red brick shell, and I think actually has really nice classic lines, and it's something that I'd like to preserve as best as possible. I think there's a lot working here. Um, the general approach that we're taking is to reduce, um, take away all the sort of 1980s and 1990s aspects of the building, go back to what the original classic building was, and then layer onto that some modern treatment. And really, the effort is about making the Gatsby Bookstore and Wine Bar a hub for this community, a place that people feel free to come into sort of in different capacities. There's the bookstore aspect, which I would like to feel like an extension of the public realm. Um, the office is what we're presently calling this component that's visible here on the left-hand side. It's a relatively small opening in the facade, and so it sort of announces its presence with color. And I'm seeing this as being the one pop of color in the project where you gain access to an office or an executive suite that is accessible to the community, or accessible to individual small business owners or people that need office space, which is a growing need. Bella Tapas is just, and again, these are placeholders. We've given names to these things just to sort of be able to um, construct a narrative of what I think is a believable arrangement of three different components. So Bella Tapas occupies this northwest section of the building. The material palette is again about rawness, about material honesty, and also about classic materials. So using natural woods, embracing the raw red brick that's already in the building, and really taking a lot of cues from what the building is saying already and just cleaning it up, not trying to cover it up with newer materials. You're looking at, of course, screen resolution, so it will be helpful for you to take a look at the rendering that I'll be sending you, because you'll be able to zoom in and get better resolution. I can help you with that a little bit right here, just sort of scrolling around the image. This is an idea of trying to create some private outdoor space that belongs to the bar. So we have these bifold wooden doors that can be opened up on nice days. You have a bar that is just indoors with aircraft cables spanning underneath. So this is, I think, a legal alcohol barrier, but it also allows people to feel like they're enjoying the outdoors. I'm just going to scroll back to the side here. And a small note on the office, we're proposing planting a large tree just outboard of the office, potentially losing one parking space and giving it over to some private outdoor space. A simple circular park bench where business people who are taking a break from the office or need to take a phone call, need some privacy, can step out, or they can just take a break in the middle of their day and have lunch in a spot that sort of feels like an extension, an outdoor extension of the office. I'm going to move us now to a digital model, which is admittedly clunky. We're almost at the same perspective that we were in that perspective. And this really is just, we needed to hash out some of the relationships between the two spaces, and this digital model helped us do that. There's an opportunity that I think we talked about on site, and that is, what is the relationship between this bookstore that is for the community at large to an office slash incubator space that wants to feel somewhat public but needs to be edited, needs to be filtered and somewhat removed from that space. And so we tried as best as possible to, embracing the really dramatic architectural possibility of these bowstring trusses, acting as a frame through which you experience this other space. Let me just move our camera over here. I'm going to orient you a little bit better in our plan when I get to that. But just briefly, this U in front of us is the point of sale. These are the stacks in the back over here. There's a living room scene that's here sort of in the center area. This is the bar along the back wall. And the entire bookstore realm is cloaked or sort of jacketed with a perimeter of bookshelves. And so you exist within this nice wrapper of bookshelves that goes all the way around the room. There's the bar aspect on this east side, and then again on this south side, which is open to the street and sort of the activity of the street. These would be merchandise towers, and the stacks we're proposing either 4'6" or 4'6" or 5 feet tall, which allows you to put some product on top, or you can keep it clean. That's really up to your preference on sort of what the aesthetic of the store is going to be and how full of merchandise it will be. I'm going to take us now to a view. We don't actually have the stairs modeled, but if you can follow my cursor coming down towards the camera, the stairs are coming down towards the camera in this case. We have the bookstore on the right, and we have this long sort of dramatic arch that exposes you to the inside, sort of the more public realm of the office. Stairs 2, I'm now at the top of the landing looking into the office. This is a conference room on my left. On the right, this is where a secretary could sit, or some sort of receiving individual would sit here. And this is also part of a common sort of casual hangout space and kitchen beyond in the back. This is a common bar for people to take lunch or people to have a casual sort of powwow. Coming into that space and looking back, the people that use the space have the benefit of being close to a really unique juxtaposition between a truly public space and a place that is one of the what we call third spaces, which is neither home specifically or the workspace. And to have a workspace that benefits from that proximity is, I think, a big draw for both parties. I'm going to take us now to the axon, just overview of the whole building. And I think from this point it might be most beneficial to go to the plan. We're looking at the first floor plan, and I've oriented it with north to the left simply because it favors our our horizontal screens. So I'll start over here at the main entry doors. We've left the entry doors as they were in the plan. We think this is a good arrangement, and it really serves us well from the ADA perspective, getting a ramp in here where we need it. You generally want to walk into a store and not blockade visibility into the space. You want to see into the space as much as possible, and preferably even see the back perimeter of the main entry space. So these are merch towers, which allow visibility, but they also put merchandise close to the door and also close to the point of sale. Our stacks are oriented in this direction, and again, these are lower stacks, 4.5 to 5 feet tall, which still allows view to this perimeter wrapper, which goes around the entire store and creates a really nice, beautiful backdrop that is also merchandise. The upper shelves would be for storage and accessible only via a library ladder for use by the employees. Point of sale is located towards the front of the store, which is typically what you want to do. People that are working the point of sale want to have line of sight to the doors. They also want to have line of sight to areas where people are drinking alcohol, which is here and here. They also want to have line of sight typically to any lounge area, because you do get people that camp out indefinitely, or people that are actually trying to take a nap in your bookstore, and having this sort of proximity is a benefit to you, also from a security standpoint. The bar is at this east side of the room, And we really like the idea of the stacks and um, the things required for alcohol sales, glasses and wine bottles or anything else that would be um, part of this scene, intermingle. And so you have a wall that is sometimes, you know, accommodating books, sometimes accommodating merchandise, sometimes accommodating locally made goods, sometimes accommodating consumables like wine and glasses. We also talked about having an ice cream component to this. We've made this back wall deep enough to accommodate counter depth refrigeration. There could be a sort of grab and go case in here as well. That could also be done under counter at the bar. This area back over here is receiving for the bookstore specifically. So books can actually come in through the back down the ramp and then directly into the receiving. There's a small desk here, the rest is storage, and then receiving has another entry directly into the back of sort of back of house area. I am going to move us now to the second floor. Sorry again for the clunkiness. Coming up to the top of the stairs, you arrive on a mezzanine. You're looking over a glass handrail down to the bookstore below. You're also looking through these trusses. Very dramatic, really beautiful. There's a small bench right here, beyond which I think you would look down into that interstitial zone behind the large pivoting bookstore shelf. Coming through this door here, you have receiving or some sort of secretary that sits here. There's a very small sitting area if you're waiting to meet somebody. And then beyond this door you have a conference room which really enjoys a spectacular view through that arc into the bookstore. I think this would be a great spot for a skylight to get natural light into that moment. And then back here you have the bullpen area, and we've got a bullpen area that I think lends itself to communal use, where you have larger desks that when there's not a lot of people here, you can have one person occupy a desk and they can spread out and get a lot of work done. If you're doing an event where there are a lot of students or a lot of young professionals coming and they need to really pack this place out, then you can accommodate up to 16 people in this scenario with still fairly generous desk space. This is a lounge area, and here is a phone booth, just a place you can go close the door and have a private phone conversation. So what is, again, I mentioned this previously, but what is sort of secretarial area up front here transitions to office kitchen in the back. This, I think, would be the primary hangout space. This is where people have their lunch. It's where they have a small powwow session. Two bathrooms stacked directly above the bathrooms on the first floor. This is the access ladder to the roof hatch existing, and so it's we're turning this leftover space here into simply storage. It's given where the stair is located and this roof hatch and the bathrooms, it's a little bit difficult to do anything but storage, and I think it actually works fairly nicely as a storage unit. One scenario we wanted to make sure we could address: people that are in the office area upstairs want to run down and grab an ice cream, get a coffee, or have a glass of wine. Maybe it's 5:30 and people are wrapping their day up and they want to go finish their meeting with their client down in the bookstore. We think it's a necessity to be able to come down those stairs, not leave the building and enter like anyone else, but to come down these stairs, turn the corner, and have sort of their sort of secret James Bond entry into this world, and for them to really feel like they have a special connection with this place if they're associated with the office upstairs, and vice versa. The same is true for the tapas. The tapas has this entry into this space, and we see a definite flow, a synergy between those two entities. And we're eager to hear what you guys think of this. All right, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.